Hey friends, what is up? It's Ashton here again with Gents. Today we're going to be taking a look at a newish clone for one of, if not the most popular niche releases for men, Aventus. You can tell by the video title. The clone is Aldur Al Maknoon Silver by Lattafa Perfumes. This one has not seemed to really get very much traction. So I wanted to check it out for myself, see how good it is compared to all of the other clones out there, of which there are a few. And I've actually ordered Unpredictable Adventure by Glenn Perry. So when I get that in, I'm gonna do just a comparison video of all the freaking clones. It would be the Clone Wars and see who comes out on top. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and check out the presentation on this one and then check out the fragrance and see how good of a clone this one is. Alright guys, let's go ahead and check out this presentation. You have the name of the fragrance and house on the front, Eau de Parfum 100 ml down in the corner, nothing on the sides. On the back you have ingredients, the name of the fragrance again, the house down in the corner, and a holographic sticker that kind of seals the box here. On the bottom you have your typical information, made in the UAE, keep out of reach of children. So let's check out this bottle. This has some obvious similarities to another Aventus clone, and it should be really obvious right off the bat. Check out this lid. This lid is basically the exact same as the lid on Club de Nuit Intense. And you also have the little dangling symbol of the company, which is also exactly the same. You have this cool kind of black sparkly paint job. It's on the front and the back. It says Aldur Al Maknoon across the bottom. On this side it says Lattafa. On this side, Eau de Parfum. You can see through to see the juice level on each side. There's a little sticker on the bottom that gives a little bit of information. It's kind of cheap, but that's okay. The atomizer on this was not great the first couple times I used it, but now it seems to be okay. It's pretty similar to the Club de Nuit Intense one, if not the exact same, honestly. And that is the presentation for Aldur Al Maknoon Silver. So I've got Club de Nuit Intense Man here. Now you should notice some pretty obvious similarities to these bottles here. You know what I'm talking about. It's like they've got the same dangly thing going on. The lid is literally the exact freaking same. They're stealing from each other here. But this one gets talked about the most in the community. This one seems to get the most love. Now, I'm gonna just let you know right off the top, I don't like the opening to Club de Nuit Intense Man. It's kind of synthetic, it's kind of a mess. It doesn't really smell like Aventus, it doesn't really smell great. Now everybody knows that that's the worst part of this fragrance. After it dries down, it smells pretty similar to a smoky batch of Aventus. So that's a good thing. The opening to Aldur Al Maknoon Silver, which is a mouthful, is way closer to Aventus than Club de Nuit Intense is. Way closer. It doesn't smell super synthetic. You get a nice pineapple note. There's apple in there. Really fruity, really pleasant. And honestly, that's one of my favorite parts of Aventus is the opening. So I really prefer this one to this one. Honestly, of all the clones that I've smelled so far, this has the best opening. It's really, really nice, very fruity, and very realistic for the price that you pay as well. So that's a big plus on this one. The dry down on this Aldur Al Maknoon Silver is also really nice. It's more on the fruity side still, so pretty much the whole way you could think of this as like a fruity version of Aventus or a clone of a fruitier batch of Aventus. You do get a little bit of birch in the dry down, so there's a little bit of smokiness. It's just not as strong as Club de Nuit Intense. It's not on that same level of smokiness. It still exists, it's just not as intense. Performance on this is probably the biggest drawback, honestly. It projects decently for about 3 hours, sometimes 2 hours, just depends on conditions and how much you spray. And longevity, you're looking at about 5 hours, unless you maybe go crazy heavy on it. So Club de Nuit Intense does outperform this one. But overall, if I had to choose between the two scents as to which one I liked more, just going off the fragrance itself, I prefer this to Club de Nuit Intense. Like I said, it is closer to a fruity batch of Aventus. Club de Nuit Intense is more like a smoky batch of Aventus. So to an extent, you could purchase both of those, and then maybe in, you know, colder settings or outdoor settings, things like that, you could rock the Club de Nuit Intense. And when it's warmer out, you could go ahead and rock Alder Almack Noon Silver. I just, you know, say that over and over and over again. But yeah, this one is pretty close to Aventus. Now, I'm one of the ones that thinks, you know, Aventus is Aventus. Clones come close, but if you want the real deal, you've got to buy the real deal. But I definitely see where the clones have their place, because, you know, Aventus is freaking expensive, and not everybody's going to want to spend that much money. And if you do spend that much money, it kind of sucks to use it, honestly, because every time you spray it, it's like $2 going away, just like money just disappearing into the air. So I can definitely see where clones get some play, and they do have a use. I mean, honestly, a lot of times if I just want that kind of Aventus-y type vibe, but I want to like wear it for myself, or I'm just doing something really casual, definitely bust one of these out. You know, I do that. I think everybody does that. That's kind of the best thing that they're used for. Once Glen Perry Unpredictable Adventure gets here, I will have 6 Aventus clones. So I think that's enough to go ahead and make a contrast and compare video between them. It will be Unpredictable Adventure, Trespon, Insurrection Pure, L'Aventure, Club de Nuit Intense, and this one. So, you know, that's a lot of contrasting and comparing between all of those to see where they fall, where they slot in. This one, in my opinion, has to be, as of now, in the top 3 with L'Aventure, Club de Nuit Intense. And this one, I think that overall, it just depends on what you prefer. If you prefer that really smoky dry down, then you're still gonna like Club de Nuit Intense the most. If you prefer fruity batches with a much nicer open, then you'll probably prefer this one. And L'Aventure also has a little bit of that fruity vibe going on. Between those two, I prefer this one, but L'Aventure is not a bad scent, so don't take that negatively. As of right now, the best place to source this is probably on eBay. I got it for $18 from a seller in the UK, and I was actually gonna post their information, but when I went back to check the listing, they've changed it now to not delivering to the United States. That might be because they lost out on shipping when they sold it to me for $18 shipped. If so, I'm sorry. Right now, the cheapest one that I found was like in the $34 range. If anybody knows where to pick this up for less, go ahead and put that in the comments, because I'm sure some people may want to check this out. And you know, the only ones that I'm seeing right now are in Kuwait. So if you order it, there's going to be a little bit of a wait for it to get over the ocean to the US. Alright guys, that's all that I've got for you this time. If you want to see any particular reviews or lists or anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment, make a suggestion. I know that some people have made suggestions and I've jotted those down, but maybe you want to see something that I haven't even thought of. So if you let me know, we can kind of collaborate, maybe come up with something cool. That's it on this one for now, but there will be that Aventus clone comparison video coming up in the future. It's just going to take a little bit to go ahead and jot down notes on everything and then condense it so that it's not 25 minutes of me just talking about Aventus and the similarities, because I'm pretty sure that would get boring. As always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. What's up? You like Aventus?